My mom left my dad when I was an early age, and after putting us through babysitters for a while, we had to go into foster care. And teen years was difficult for me because as a child, I'd fallen out of a building, and I'm dyslexic, and I've dealt with a brain injury. I remember I have 2 scars on my face here where my friends took my face and decorated the back of a bus with it. I struggled in school. I struggled academically. I didn't quite fit in. And so I remember at one point I came home one day and I was tired of being laughed at and tired of people making fun of me. And I took a rope and I tied it up in my room. And I remember standing and looking up at the rope. I paused and I thought, I probably can't even do this right. I looked at the ceiling and I said, God, you're my last chance. And it wasn't an audible voice or whatever, but I heard God speak to me. And God said, it was in my heart, he said, I'm not your last chance, I'm really your only chance. And that was a changing point. And why that change was because of a high school teacher who decided that standing up for his faith, having a Christian club there, I remember really him sharing the gospel several times, and that became my safety line. I really began to change as I began to invest in others because I saw people investing in me, and so it made a difference. So I went off to Bible college. I pastored a church out in Saskatchewan, and then I got recruited by Youth for Christ in Calgary, became the executive director there, worked with street kids, developed group homes along the way, got recruited by a Bible college and started teaching youth in camp ministry. I was married for about 30 years. And I remember at one point, I just finished my academic career. I'd been a Bible college president. I just came out with a book where it seemed like the best year of my marriage. I came home one day and my wife wasn't there. I read a letter that said, I've been seeing other men. I'm really sorry, you're a good man, and went on. And it was like a standstill moment. And sometimes, you go through those moments and it's paralyzing. My life had just radically changed. I remember looking into her eyes and saying, I forgive you. And she looked at me and she said, I didn't ask for your forgiveness. In some ways it should have worked, but I realized that I cannot always control another person. My daughter-in-law said to me one time, says, Dad, how come you haven't given up on your faith? I said, well, the foundation is so strong. It's because I have Jesus Christ that I can go through this. Life does happen. And, sometimes I realize that the worst day of my life has already taken place and I'm still standing. And being in ministry, it's hard because people can be tough on you. I kept it a secret for a year so that she could come back. And then eventually it affected my employment, it affected my job. All of a sudden I felt like I was blacklisted, other colleges I would get to be number 2, the number 1 candidate, and then they'd find out my marital status. And then churches wouldn't look at me anymore. I finally get a job. And my job is about talking about hope. A church comes, a small little church, they invite me to be their pastor, and they said, you know what? We believe that you can be part of our healing and that we can be part of yours. And I realized the Lord had given me a new testimony.